As one of Hollywood's most productive and daring action stars, Tom Cruise's career has been filled with increasingly dangerous stunts that the actor insisted on doing himself. And he's got a lot of near-death experiences to speak of as a result of his very hands-on approach. Most recently, he was spotted limping away from a botched jump landing on Mission Impossible 6. But over the course of his career, he's racked up a whole history of on-set accidents that were worse and nearly ended his life. Here are the most dangerous movie scenes Tom Cruise has ever done. Top Gun. Tom Cruise might be excited about the forthcoming sequel to Top Gun, but his first turn as a fighter pilot Maverick was almost his last. Co-star Barry Tubb revealed that in the scene where Cruise was filmed cradling co-star Anthony Edwards' body after Goose's death, his very real parachute began taking on water at an alarming rate. Tubb told the New York Post, "They were refilling the camera or something, and luckily one of the frogmen in the chopper saw his chute ballooning out. He jumped in and cut Cruise loose right before he sank. They would have never found him. He would have been at the bottom of the ocean." Cruise wasn't the only one whose life was endangered on the set. Tragically, the aerial stunt work for the movie was so dangerous that it actually did cost one pilot his life. Days of Thunder. Tom Cruise may be a studious student of stunts now, but there was one on-set tutor that felt the star didn't quite learn his lesson before getting into action. NASCAR vet Hut Strickling revealed that Cruise didn't quite understand what he was being told before gearing up to film a racing scene in Days of Thunder, and spiraled out of control as a result. Strickland explained, "I guess he'd seen guys on TV squirming back and forth left and right. He turned to the left, the car turned left, but when he goes back to the right, crash." Ultimately, Cruise was uninjured, but the expensive camera attached to his car was a goner. Mission Impossible. If Tom Cruise's facial expressions looked especially true during the exploding fish tank scene in Mission Impossible, that's because they were. As he told the Los Angeles Times, "First they're going to blow the tank 7 feet behind me and then blow the tank overhead. And if I'm there, I'm really going to get hurt. They count off 1, 2, my adrenaline is going. And on 2, I hear the first explosion and it takes everything in my power to stay standing there. And then on 3, I went, and it was a wall of water. So then the water rushes out and I've got to run faster than the water and chunks of glass are everywhere and I have to jump over a guy." Cruise said he ultimately ran away from the shot with a bruised ankle, but since a stuntman suffered a gashed leg, he refused to complain about his own small injury. Collateral. Tom Cruise may like doing stunts, but his co-stars aren't always quite as eager to take whatever comes their way during filming. According to Jamie Foxx, Cruise almost met his maker while they were filming a car crash scene in Collateral. He recalled, "I hit the gas, the cab goes straight head-on into Cruise's Mercedes, and the Mercedes lifts off the ground and goes off the set. They were so worried that I had killed my man. Can you imagine all that money bouncing around in the back seat?" Cruise himself admitted that the stunt had him hitting the roof and down on the ground, but he was ultimately okay. Oblivion. Ever the thrill-seeker, Tom Cruise insisted on riding a motorcycle at high speeds through a rocky mountain plane for Oblivion, and when he wiped out during one take, it could have ended a lot worse. In behind-the-scenes footage from the shoot, Cruise is seen losing control of the bike as it careens down a slope, and although the back wheel of the vehicle continued to spin between his legs, he tumbled off and stood right back up, assuring the production crew he was fine, before doing it all over again. Edge of Tomorrow. During production on Edge of Tomorrow, Tom Cruise's co-star Emily Blunt was certainly impressed with his willingness to step up to the plate when it came to dangerous shots.
He really does everything and wants to do everything, even if the stunt guys and the producers are like, "Please don't do that."
Cruise's enthusiasm for doing his own stunts inspired her to give it a shot too, but it didn't always go so well. Blunt said that during the filming of their car chase scene, she got a little too into the maneuvers and lost control of the vehicle, nearly making a casualty out of her passenger, Tom Cruise.
"I left it too late, and so drove us into a tree." And I almost killed Tom Cruise.
Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation. You might think hanging off a moving plane might be one step too far for an A-list actor like Tom Cruise, but no.
Let's go.
He was all for making the shot happen himself, and volunteered to hang off the side of an aircraft to ensure that the image of his character in motion was more realistic than any green screen effect.
It was a little intense. There's that moment I'm there going, oh, maybe this wasn't such a good idea.
Yeah. And while the stunt was ultimately a success, he didn't walk away completely unharmed. He told USA Today, "While we are going down the runway, we're worried about bird strikes. Any kind of particle that the propellers could pick up, any kind of stone. I remember I got hit by a stone that was so tiny you cannot believe. I thought it broke my rib. Lucky it went to my vest and not my hands or my face. It would have penetrated and gone right through." The Mummy. Of the many injurious and death-defying stunts Tom Cruise has been a party to, his work on the set of The Mummy reboot has to be the strangest. Cruise convinced filmmakers to let him do multiple stunts for the film, like running around the minefield of explosions, having his head slammed into a wall several times, and simulating a plane crash with a zero-gravity plane drop. Oddly enough, however, his most perilous moment in making the movie came when he was riding in a helicopter 2,000 feet above the Namibian desert, and he decided to hang off the side of it so he could snap a daredevil selfie. He said, "I just really wanted a different kind of shot, so I had my seatbelt just loose enough to hang out. It was fun." Clearly, Tom Cruise has his very own definition of a good time. The Last Samurai. As if any of those other stunts weren't bad enough, Tom Cruise almost lost his head during the filming of one fight scene in The Last Samurai. According to co-star Hiroyuki Sanada, he lost control of his weapon during production and very nearly cost Cruise his life. He explained, "Tom's neck was right in front of me, and I tried to stop swinging my sword, but it was hard to control with one hand. The film crew watching from the side all screamed because they thought Tom's head would fly off. Fortunately, he missed the mark by just half an inch, and Cruise was spared." Of course, The Last Samurai proved to be a pretty dangerous place for everyone on set, even the extras. Thanks for watching. Click the looper icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.